Hey everyone, Fast Eddie here, and this video is going to be about the top 10 skills to master if you're a new rider. So this takes you step by step of what I feel are the most important things to practice and get really good at before you move on to the next step. Of course, there's many different things to assume beforehand, like you already have full quality gear, you've already taken a course, you already have the right bike that's for you, and your first bike isn't a crazy heavy bike or a crazy powerful bike, or it's meant for you. You actually done your research and you got the bike that's a good fit for you and your goals and what you want to do. So first thing on the list is vision. It doesn't matter if you're going just around the block or down the highway. If you're not looking where you're supposed to be going, it's going to be very difficult to do anything else. So really practicing not just turning your eyes, but pointing your whole chin, looking where you want to go. Your vision is absolutely key. And I tell people vision tips and to point their chin and look further ahead, even if they're at the racetrack, and I'm giving tips to people. So vision is a fundamental thing. Vision, get your eyes up, especially when you're first starting. A lot of people want to look down at the ground and try to figure out what's going on, but you're in traffic. This is a motorcycle that's dangerous and it's heavy and it's powerful. You need to get your eyes up looking ahead. You need to see what's up ahead so you have more time to think about, what am I going to do if this happens? Look in the mirror. Okay, there's a car coming up behind me. If this happens, what should I do? There's a stop sign, there's a stoplight, there's pedestrians walking by. You need to get your eyes looking up ahead. So vision, get your eyes up. Next is really learn to master the clutch. Again, this is something I could tell experienced riders as well, but really get used to the clutch, the friction zone, the point where you have power versus not having power. Memorizing, knowing exactly where that point is and feeling where that place is at so well, you just know it by heart. You know it 100% perfectly, because that's going to help you doing everything. Low speed turning, shifting gears. You really need to find and spend a lot of time figuring out the clutch and where that point is at, where you have power, don't have power. Adjust it when you first get a bike, figure out where you like it the best, and really spend a lot of time mastering your clutch, learning where that place is at, right? Number 3 is having slow hands. So your left hand's on the clutch, your right hand's on the throttle and on the front brake, right? So just your hands alone control your bike stopping and your bike going. So if you do anything fast with your hands, the bike is going to respond just as fast, and you're probably not going to like that. So some of the fastest riders have the slowest hands. So while you're releasing the clutch and you're just starting to go, just got a brand new bike today, you just graduated the basic course, you bought the bike, and you just want to go up and down your block. That's it, 5 miles per hour. Slowly release the clutch. You start to go a little bit, you pull it back in. Start to go a little bit, pull it slow. Millimeters, not exaggerating, just millimeters at a time. Slowly hands, tiny bit of gas. If you go on the brake, it's very slowly on the brake. The front brake has so much power. If you go like this with the brake, the bike is going to respond just as fast, and you're not going to like what's going to happen, just like if you do this with the throttle. So think about your hands, your clutch, your throttle, and your front brake. All these are light switches, but not a normal on-off light switch. Think about all these as dimmer switches. You have to go very slowly with your hands. If you're coming up to a stop, you're in first gear, you come up to a stop sign, you slowly get off the gas, slowly squeeze, slowly on the front brake, your eyes are up, you pull on the clutch, both hands squeeze very slowly, come to a stop, everything will be good. But if you want the bike to be very predictable and manageable, just keep your hands slow. If you want the bike to go crazy and you're not going to know what's going to happen, start doing this and the bike is going to respond crazy, right? Very slow hands. Next thing to really master, as you can see it step by step by step, they all build on each other, is learn to be comfortable stopping. I have another video where I said there's another confidence building exercise you could do to practice your stopping confidence. But a lot of people come up to a stop sign and they're about to turn right. So they start going to the right-hand side of the road. They're slowing down, they're trying to downshift, they're looking, and they already start looking left and right for cars, and then start turning the handlebars and they drop the bike. They're already worried about turning, but they didn't even stop yet. The first priority is to stop. Every time I come to a stop sign, even right now, I don't care what's left or right or anything. My first goal is to stop the bike. So if I'm coming to a right-hand stop sign, I come, everything's good, pulling the clutch, I squeeze the brake, I roll off the throttle, I downshift, use the brakes, my eyes are straight, I come to a complete stop. Once I stop completely, my foot's on the ground, the whole bike is stopped, the handlebars are straight, I am stopped. Then I turn my head and look when I know I'm confident and I'm staying still. A lot of people start to do things too soon. They start to look too early and start tilting in that direction. Get the bike to stop first. Practice doing that. Go 10 feet, stop the bike. Take off nice and slowly, go 10 feet, stop the bike. Just go back and forth in the parking lot doing that if you're a brand new rider. Maybe you just have a new bike and you're not comfortable with it yet. This is something else you could do. Go and stop, go and stop, go and stop. Try not to look down. Keep your eyes up, slow hands. Eyes up, slow hands. Stopping, stopping. The next thing of the skills to master is practice your slow turning. I'm not saying go out and practice my brown belt in MotoJitsu, but practice doing a big U-turn, because that's something you're going to have to do. You're going to have to make some kind of turn. Either it's a left or a right-hand turn at a stop sign. It might be a pretty tight turn, so just get used to slowly easing out the clutch, giving it a little bit of gas, looking way where you want to go, pointing your chin, looking where you want to go, eyes up, slow hands again. Just get used to doing slow speed turning. Slow speed turning. This is what I recommend for people to do when they get a new bike or they're new riders. You just start going around the block. Go 5 times around the block, just left, 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 and get used to using your blinkers, get used to stopping, looking straight, slow hands, get used to other traffic, get used to taking off and steering. Okay, a little bit of gas, maybe get up into second gear, maybe not. Stopping, just go left, just go around the block. And then go right. Turn the bike around, go right, go right. Get used to doing that. Get used to stopping, using the blinkers, turn your head, slowly easing out the clutch. You just basic movements. You get used to doing these things, right? You practice this for a week. The next week, then you go 2 blocks, and then 4 blocks, and you start making a figure 8, going left and right, just going around the block, and just get comfortable. This is exactly what I did when I brought my first bike 5 years ago, and it was a CBR 1000. Because I wasn't the smartest kid in the world, right? So that's the bike I bought, and that's the bike I had, so oh well. And this is exactly what I did. I just went around the block. I went down to the park, I went around the block, going to the parking lot, going in circles, going the other direction, going around the block. Just get comfortable with that stuff. Practice stopping, get down to the basics, slow turns. Number 6, definitely want to master, if you're a newer rider, is try to loosen your arms as much as possible. So it's definitely beneficial, get your legs engaged, get your lower body engaged, squeeze the gas tank, which will help you allow your arms to be loose. But everything's going to be way more difficult with your clutch, trying to have slow hands with the throttle and the brake, stopping your slow turns if you're really tensed up. If you're really tensed up and that's going to make you more rigid, you're going to make the bike more jumpy, and it's going to make you more afraid, which will make you more paranoid, which will make you not want to ride it. So if you could practice trying to have loose arms, play the piano is like what I say. If you can't play the piano, literally do this while riding, being that loose, then you're too tense. I don't care if you're on the racetrack or doing emergency braking at 30 miles per hour. You should be able to have your arms nice and loose. It's going to help everything dramatically. So really focus on practicing these things. This could all be done in first gear, right? You could just be going on the block. The top 6, you could be going first gear. It's a brand new bike. You're a brand new rider. You're just getting comfortable. Go on the block. Just practice these top 6 things. Clutch, slow hands, vision, stopping, turning, going around the block. Loose arms, loose arms. You start to build your speed up. You maybe go 2 blocks, right? You just make a rectangle now. 2 blocks going straight. Get your speed up. Now shift. Get used to shifting. Okay, make sure when you start to shift, you let go of the gas. You're not going to keep the gas going when you pull in the clutch. The RPMs are just going to rev up. So you're going first gear, you pull in the clutch, right? You roll, no more gas. So you're about to ready to shift, you pull in the clutch, you roll off the gas, you shift up. Make sure you give it a good whack to make sure it gets into second gear. Slowly, again, always with your hands, slowly ease out the clutch. Okay, you're good. Now, once the clutch is back out, now slowly get back on the gas. Okay, now you're in second gear. Come up to a stop sign. Okay, so get off the gas, you pull in the clutch, you slowly on the brake, you're in second gear. So before you stop, make sure you kick it back down to first. Eyes straight when you're stopping, come to a nice slow stop, everything's good, you're looking straight. Now if you want to turn, okay, put your blinker on, start to look when your feet are on the ground, okay, slowly start to go again. Just practice shifting, up shifting, down shifting, up shifting, down shifting, practicing that. And 1 through 7, you get comfortable, you get practicing, you start going a little bit faster, maybe up into third gear, you go 4 or 5 blocks down, you're still just practicing, getting comfortable, using the blinkers. You get used to people cutting you off, not paying attention on their cell phones. You have to get used to these things just going around your neighborhood. You can learn a lot from just going around the block. Don't believe in the people that say you need to go out on a 30-mile twisty road, highway mountain road for your first ride with a bunch of buddies. That's unbelievably insane. And those are horrible people not looking out for your best interests. Those are not good mentors. Those are not good friends to have. on a bike if they encourage you to do something like that and you're a new rider. Just, that's ridiculous. You start going faster, 20 miles per hour more, now you have a bend in the road a little bit. Now you really need to really start thinking about counter steering, right? If you want to go right and you're going more than 20 miles per hour, just push right. You push forward on the right handlebar, the bike's going to lean to the right, and you go to the right. So get used to doing that. Again, slow with your hands. You're not doing anything dramatic. You're not doing anything fast and aggressive and abrupt. You're not doing any of that stuff. Everything is slow motion with your hands and arms. You're a new rider, slow motion, slow and easy, push and go, right? Big head turns. Number one, vision. You're going right, turn your head, point your whole chin, look, push right, you'll go right. Straighten it back up, you're in second gear, you got a stop sign, do the same process, no more gas, pulling the clutch, slowly on the brake, make sure you kick back down to first gear, eyes straight while you're stopping, you come to a stop, make sure everything is good, you take off, slowly go, get up into second gear, you have a bend going to the left, point your chin to the left, look up, eyes up, slow with your hands, steady throttle, push left, you're going to go to the left, right? Just practice slow movement, slow motion. Now, since you're already practicing stopping, now stopping is different from braking. Braking is you're actively using the brakes because something unexpected popped up in front of you. And this isn't emergency braking. If you're still brand new, you only had the bike for a day or a week or a month, I'm not recommending you doing stops as fast as you possibly can. It might happen that you might actually have to do emergency braking, but more than likely, if you're taking it easy and doing what I recommend, you're just going around the block, maybe 2 or 3 blocks around your neighborhood first. More often than not, people aren't going to be doing anything too crazy. You might have to do emergency braking, but we will have to brake. So just get used to that slow squeeze on the brakes you have. Okay, now just practice maybe squeezing just a little bit faster, trying to get used to the bike moving forward, the suspension compressing, and just get a feel of that front brake. The front brake has a lot of power, so squeeze the brake slowly, right? You're not going super duper slow because maybe a car backed up in front of you. It's not an emergency, but maybe they just didn't see you and they're backing up in front of you, or they just stop a little bit more suddenly than you expected. You already have good distance, right? But they're stopping a little bit more faster than what you expected, so you have to brake a little bit more aggressive. So you're still nice and smooth and nice and slow, but you're not just going like eventually you're going to stop. You may have to squeeze a little bit more, so get used to doing that. See what the bike feels like. Keep your eyes up, right? Then the last thing to master as a new rider, if a kid jumps out in front of you, you're going 30 miles per hour around the block, so braking may not be your best option at that moment. So you might want to practice and get used to swerving. Master getting the bike to move out of the way for you. Let the bike do the work. You're cruising down the road, you're focusing on loose hands. Say you're in third gear, you're going 40. Everything's pretty good. You're building your confidence. Say this is like week 3, week 4, you're just practicing. And you're already practicing your braking, your vision's looking good, you're keeping your arms loose. Now a car just kind of backs up or goes in front of you. The best idea may not be to brake. Usually if you're going faster than 20-25 miles per hour, probably the fastest option to get yourself out of the way is just swerve out of the way. And you've already been practicing counter steering and turning, so if you want to go left, you just push left. But now swerving is just a little bit more assertive, just a little bit quicker push on those bars, and the bike will do all the work for you. You want to go right, just push right a little bit faster, and the bike will do it. So practice doing that. Find a big empty parking lot, go up and down the parking lot and say second gear, 20 miles per hour, go about 10 feet and push. Come back over here, another 10 feet, keep a steady throttle, push right, go right. Push left, go left, and just practice doing that, right? So this is you, back and forth. Come to the end of the parking lot, slow down, practice stopping, eyes up, you come to a dead stop, okay, make a U-turn, big right turn, turn your head, speed back up, get the second gear, keep going, maybe third gear, speed up, swerve, push, and just practice that. These top things, if you just practice and don't rush yourself and don't let anyone else rush you, don't let people take you on a dang ride up to Julian or some crazy mountain road and it's a brand new bike, or you just graduated the basic course last weekend and now people are encouraging you to get on the highway. There's no need. Take it slow. Practice this stuff. Spend a month doing what I just recommended. It's going to help out dramatically. Eventually, you get really good at this stuff. You get comfortable. Okay, now if you want to go a little bit faster, get more comfortable with speed and a little bit faster turns. Now you just take these fundamentals and now just get on the highway. So you get on the highway, you get used to speed up. Okay, third gear, fourth gear, shifting, get up to 60, 70 miles per hour. Just do one exit, then get back off the exit. Go back, practice, do it again. Get back on the highway, get used to speeding up, turning your head, right? Don't just look in your mirrors. Turn your head, make sure everything is clear. Switch lanes, get up to speed. Okay, wow, slow back down. Now I got up to 75. Holy crap, 75. Get back off the highway, right? You slowly indoctrinate yourself into faster speeds, doing one exit at a time. And do that for a couple weeks. Practice in the neighborhood. Practice, practice, practice. Get on the highway. Go back to the neighborhood. Practice, practice, practice. Now maybe the next week, go 2 exits. Go a little bit further, maybe a little bit faster. Get all the way up to 6th gear or 5th gear, whatever your bike has. Travel on the highway, see what that feels like. See what the wind feels like, how much wind resistance you have. Are you going back to tense arms? Stay loose, right? Remember these fundamentals. Do 2 exits, get back off. And just keep going on like that. Keep practicing, keep practicing. So these top 10 skills to master is what I feel would be really important if you're a brand new rider, or if you're just uncomfortable with the bike, or let's say you had an accident and your confidence is like down in the dirt and you want to rebuild your confidence back up because maybe you rushed it a little bit too early before and that's why you had an accident, or you're riding with people and they're encouraged you to do something you weren't comfortable with. So again, first things first, full gear, right? Make sure you're on a bike that fits you. You're not, 5 foot nothing, weigh 80 pounds and you bought a big old humongous Harley that's just insanely too big for you. You can't even pick it up. I mean, it's just too big. So those things, assuming you have full gear, you're on the bike that you want for your goals, your strength, your everything else. If all the things are taken care of and you're good, really focus on this stuff. Rewind the video, practice, listen to what I'm saying. It's going to help out dramatically and probably greatly reduce your chances of crashing if you take it slow. Take it at a pace to where you just don't get it right one time and you're satisfied with that. Do it 10 times in a row consistently without making a mistake, and then that's how you know you're getting good. You're building muscle memory, right? So master these things. Really, really spend the time in practice. Don't let people pressure you into doing something you're not okay with. And the number one thing is what I see all the time is just going way too damn fast. And even if the speed is slow, so way too fast is the first thing. The second thing, what I see for new riders make a big mistake on, they go to an environment they have no business of being in. Here in San Diego, there's twisty mountain roads everywhere. I see people up in Julian and they got on a Sunday morning and they just graduated Saturday. Like, you just spent 2 days in a parking lot going 20, extremely safe, with instructors watching you. And now you jump on your sport bike you just bought, and now you're all the way up here in Julian, and this is your 3rd day riding. You have 30 miles total underneath your belt. You just spent 30 miles going all the way up the mountain trying to keep up with your other sport bike buddies. That's absolutely insane. That's a recipe for disaster. All these things you don't have. They teach you what they teach you in the basic course. I got it. However, the basic course is so limited because you're in a controlled, sterile environment. There's no gravel. There's no other cars. You're just with your peers, 11 other people or less. There's no stop signs, nothing like that. There's no potholes. There's no one blowing stop signs in front of you. You're not in the real world. So it's an extreme false sense of confidence to pass the basic course, no matter what it is, and think you're automatically good enough to attack the highway. You're not. Only thing you're good at is going 20 in a parking lot. That's why I'm saying get your bike, get comfortable with your bike, focus on these top 10 things. It's going to make you much more aware, much safer, and a much more appreciative rider of speed and the bike and the power and everything else. So stay tuned, everyone. I also made another list of the top 6 skills to master if you're an experienced rider. So once you master these things, I'll make a whole nother video about the top 6 things to master as an experienced rider. So stay tuned and see you next time.